Come on, BTC.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 21st of October at 11 a.m. I am 1 minute late. I hope you all had a great weekend. I was mainly trying to get myself fit as a fiddle, which I've managed to do. I am no longer with COVID. Thankfully, I am back to normal and back on the show. And this, I think, is the week. Are we all ready to break $70,000? I think we could do it this week. Everything, including the weekly close, is pointing to the upside. So what we're going to go through today are some signals of that upside, what we should be looking for. We're going to look at Brett. We're going to look at 8chain, which launched on Saturday evening, I believe. We're going to look at Tether. We're going to look at Sui. We're going to look at Charles. Charles Hoskinson has said some things which maybe he's done them for attention, maybe he's done them to play the game, but he's made some absolutely crackers predictions. So we're going to go through them as well. Of course, we're going to go through the markets. We're going to go through the X-Files, everything you normally expect from Crypto Warehouse in an hour. We stream Monday to Friday at 11 a.m. and the Oracle may be streaming tonight. He may be streaming tomorrow night. It all depends on what the market does today. If by 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock the market isn't moving, then he's not going to look at the charts. He'll wait for that explosive move to the upside to give you some targets, and then he'll stream Thursday or Friday this week. Entirely up to him when he wants to do it. It is, after all, his show. Now then, bottom left-hand corner, we have 179,500 followers. We're nearly at 180,000 followers. 20,000 away from 200,000, and then I'm probably going to get rid of that number, or I might not update it or even reference it. I think it's 200,000. That'll be it. Bottom right-hand corner, the target is, of course, $74,000 for Bitcoin. I've had that in the bottom right-hand corner since probably March or April. We have crabbed for an entire 3/4 of a year, it feels like. It feels like a century we've crabbed to the right. But there are green shoots of recovery. We are looking to the upside. And it's about time. It's about time. We've been in the waiting room for so long that now when we do break up, I'm not sure we're going to actually believe that we do break up. So 70,000, I am expecting soon. Now, there are some things in the future which could affect that price, such as the jobs data which come out. And of course, we are 15 days away from the US presidential election. In fact, Donald Trump himself tried to raise a little bit more cash yesterday when he went working in a McDonald's in America, just to get those few extra dollars into the kitty to help promote the campaign. And as he quite rightly pointed out, he's worked 15 minutes more in McDonald's than Kamala Harris. Anyway, I suppose we should get on with the show. A few good mornings to Kishan is here, Danny is here, Tariq is here, Bullish Bull is in chat again. Bullish Bull is back. Nice to see you. Mags is here, Velvet Rope is here. No hidden agendas this morning, I don't see. I wonder where Hidden is. I hope he's okay. Right then, let's get on, have a look at the markets, see if the internet holds up. I made some changes. I fixed some things. I'm praying it holds. I have no idea what the problem is. It's not the router. It's not my laptop. I don't know. But anyway, Bitcoin coming in just over 68,000. It is down, by the way. We were over 69,000 when I woke up this morning. So maybe I am a precursor to a pump, because we always go down before the stream and we always rally after the stream. So maybe it's all the positive energy that we are putting out into the world. Market cap coming in at 2.37 trillion. That is up volume. 71 billion for a Monday. Very decent. Normally that's in its 50s. Bitcoin dominance, ETH dominance. Again, nothing really to talk about there. That hasn't really moved on. Fear and greed at 63 is a little bit high. But we're going to talk about that in some of the X-Files that we have. Good morning, Eugene. Good morning, Solo Sky. I hope you are all well. So Bitcoin coming in at 68.3. We are what? 2% away from 70,000. 2%. That's it. I remember when people were crying over their Bovril 3 months ago when we were at 49,000, saying we were going to go to zero. Those people are no longer drinking Bovril for breakfast. They are on to champagne. And who can blame them? Ethereum is back above $2,700. That's interesting. Bitcoin is pretty much evens to where it was this time yesterday. Ethereum is up look at Solana. Now then, I had $164 for Solana. It had to break that to move to the upside. We are over $167. It's bullish for Solana. USDC and Tether, for those of you that are new to crypto, are two cryptocurrencies you shouldn't invest in because they will neither go up or hopefully go down in the bull run. XRP coming in at 55 cents. Dogecoin, we do not mention Dogecoin. The first rule of Dogecoin is you don't mention Dogecoin. Winners then, Mew. Now, if you look to the left of your screen, you will see that this stream is sponsored by Mew, Cat in a Dog's World. And you will also know I told you to buy this coin about 95% away. And those of you that have been winning Mew on the streams over the last couple of months, you're probably now up a good 120% if you've kept on to your Mew. Why have you sold it? It's one of my top performers. We were talking about this coin at the $450 million range. It's now up at $860 million. It's a cat. It's a meme. It's going to be a winner. ApeCoin is up. We're going to talk about that in a minute. I do not like the pumponomics behind that. I don't think I'm a big fan of that. Cosmos is up. Popcat, Mog, Dupe. Again, Dupe was over $1. And again, where do I think the fair price of Dupe is? $1.50. I have said it all along. If we can get to the end of the year between $1.50 and $2.50, I do think we could have a run at $8 to $10 in the bull run. Why not? It's a very big project. They are going to burn a lot of their circulating supply. Today is the day as well that you can go and claim your ASR rewards. I'm going to show you that in a second. Theta is up, or Theta is up. Mina, Solana, again, interesting to see Solana in the top gainers of the day. Optimism is up. Lots of very decent projects on the pump. Hardly any to the downside. Aero is down a touch, but look at that year to date for Aero. Immutable X is down just a touch. Aave, Litecoin, still above $70, Tariq. It's still above $70. It's hanging on to the side of that lifeboat. It's hanging on by its fingernails to $70. Mantra is down, but again, look at the pump it's had this year, $1.47. Injective and a few others down, not too many. Overall, it's not really been a bad Sunday, has it? Now, we do have a few X files to go through, and we also have a few charts that we look at on a Monday, namely the DXY. We'll look at Bitcoin dominance and a few other things as well. Remember, if you are new here, say hello in chat, introduce yourself, where are you from, give us a follow, subscribe to the channel. We are a hair's whisker away from 180,000 followers. Would you deny this face a few extra followers? I certainly wouldn't. Bitcoin, the liquidity cluster at over $70,000 is looking juicy. With price trading as close as it is, it would make sense to take out that level at the very least. From there on, it will be key to see sustained spot bid without long getting too crazy. Again, those yellow spikes that you can see, they are liquidity pools, areas of price targets that the whales like to go to. Now, there is one thing breaking $70,000 today or tomorrow. There is another thing holding it. We could get to 70,100, 70,200, and then guess what? We could get rejected and be back at 69,000 by Friday. So, breaking a price is one thing. It's a good sign, bullish sign. It's another holding it. We've seen that with 69,000 this morning. We didn't break it. We broke it for an hour or two, didn't we? And then we've come straight back down. But it was a very, very strong monthly close. Bitcoin's number of whales grew substantially just as its value was bottoming out at 59,000 on October the 10th. Remember, we are 11 days later and we're at 69,000. We've done a $10,000 move in 10 days. Bear that in mind. Bitcoin can go up and down relatively quickly. You know, $10,000 is not to be sniffed at. It's a pretty big move. Taking that, where could we be by the end of the year? We could be at $86,000, $88,000, $84,000 by the end of the year. Again, that would not be necessarily too big a pump. That would be $15,000 in 2 months. We've done $10,000 in 10 days. It's all doable. Lots of people are talking about 100,000, 240,000 by the end of the year. I think they need to relax. I think they need to sit down, have a glass of water, relax, and let's see where the market goes, because I think 86,000 by the end of the year is a really bullish price. I do not think $240,000, or was it even $340,000 predicted by Michael Saylor and a few others. Again, they are bullish. Actually, no, they're not bullish. I would say they are overly optimistic targets for the price action we're likely to see by the end of the year. Yes, if we go parabolic, we could break up to $120,000, but $240,000, again. Now, I'm going to include this as much as I can because I need to get this through to you. This is so important. Last week, 3,150 Bitcoin were created in 1 week. 31,500 Bitcoin were purchased by the ETFs alone. That doesn't include Saylor, Bhutan, Mr. 100, the whales, you. It doesn't include any of you. Now, yes, people are going to sell. Of course they are. But at this buying rate, at this speed of purchasing, we're going to run out of Bitcoin. We've only got, 1.8 million, 1.6 million Bitcoin left on exchanges. You will do the numbers. That's 100,000. Let's call it 120,000 a month being removed from exchanges. So we've got, a year and a half supply of Bitcoin left on exchanges. That's before Trump wins. That's before America starts to buy 1 million Bitcoin or 800,000 Bitcoin. That's before any of this. There is going to be a supply shock. I'm going to tell you every week, you need to understand this. If somebody says to you, do you have enough Bitcoin? What should your answer be? No. You should always buy Bitcoin. Whether we are in a bear market or a bull market, it's the single most important coin you can hold in your bag. And yes, there are people out there that are going to say, this is going to do a 50x, this is going to do a 100x. Good. I'm glad you're going to do that. But we have to be conservative. And Bitcoin is the gorilla. It is the number one cryptocurrency. If you don't hold Bitcoin and you have a portfolio, please put 10, 20, 30% of that portfolio into Bitcoin. It might be seen as being too late because we're at 15,000, now we're at 70, but we could go on to 120, 180, or in Michael Saylor's suggested case, $240,000. So there's still ways to run, but also in the bear market, what doesn't collapse is the price of Bitcoin. It goes down, but it doesn't go down like all of your alts that you're holding onto now. And if you don't sell at the right time, it's going to end in tears. Solo Sky, what is happening with XRP? The court case is over. Is there a problem with the coin? The court case is not over, Solo Sky. There has been an appeal by the SEC, and now we need to see if the appeal is going to get thrown out. And that's what's holding XRP back. If the appeal is granted, and there is a court case, it's not going to be resolved this year. It might not even be resolved early next year. It's going to take a long time. I think they've said May next year would be when the court case would happen, but it still has the appeal still has to be approved. If the appeal is rejected, and this is the end of the line for the SEC, then XRP will pump. If Donald Trump wins and he comes into office in February, is it February the 2nd or something like that, he gets inaugurated, he could come in day one, Gary Gensler resigns, he puts his new man or woman in place and then says every single case against every single cryptocurrency is dropped today. Then we're going to see XRP pump in January, February. Or the case is rejected and XRP will pump. It's not going to go to $20, $50. It might go to $1, $1.10. That would be an amazing price for XRP right now. However, in the bull run, without the SEC case, you're looking hopefully towards $5, $6, $7. I've said that for a year now, and I still hold by that. Worst case scenario is $3 for XRP. Bullish case, $7. It all depends. There's a lot of water to go under the bridge between now and then. Now, the heat map, This is an interesting one. I have included a couple of double posts this week. This is the heat map, the RSI heat map of all of the coins, I think probably in the top 200 or top 100. This is the cluster of the RSIs of these coins. Now, I don't know how many coins are in there, but let's say 200. The ones at the very top are overbought. The ones at the very bottom are oversold. And as you can see, the majority of those coins are more towards the bottom of the second green band. That means that if we do pump, is this the weekly? Weekly, yeah. So if we do pump, we could see a good couple of weeks in the majority of coins if Bitcoin rips up. Now, let's say Bitcoin by the end of the week is at $72,000 and holding it. And then it sits there and it has a break. Maybe it retraces to 70, 71,000. This is going to go mental, okay? They're going to go crazy. Their RSI will increase over the weeks, of course, but so will the price. The price is going to go up in a lot of alts. We could see the alt rally. Again, Bitcoin is like the dog walker. The dog walker walks, that's Bitcoin. It then takes a little bit of a delay before the dogs get pulled on the lead, and then the dogs follow suit. That's what's going to happen with Bitcoin. It's going to lead the way, then it's going to have a breather, and all the little puppies are going to catch up with Bitcoin. That's what's going to happen. Not in every case, of course, but in the majority of cases. The majority of these coins in 3 or 4 weeks' time are likely to be in the second to top band. And that could possibly be the sign where we could have a cool-off, potentially. But we are in the bullish quarter. This is the bullish quarter for Bitcoin. It's not the bullish quarter for Ethereum. That comes in January, February, and March. Now, again, another follow-up to what I was just showing you a minute ago with the 31,000 purchased against 3,100 made. Look at what's happened with the gains of the different sized wallets. Now, you watching this are probably in the top two. That's you, okay? There's a few of you that are in the third bracket, but look at the flow of Bitcoin. In general, the smaller wallets have capitulated or taken profit. If they bought at 16,000 and they sold at 68, 70,000, they've made 400% profit. Great. But on the whole, the shift of who is holding Bitcoin is going to the whales. They have gained 285,000 Bitcoin this year, 27,500 in the last 30 days. And look at the people who've capitulated. 14,000 wallets have shrunk in the last 30 days. It's not a good sign, but it's what we've been telling you. Do not let that bear in your house. Do not let that bear take your Bitcoin off you. If I was you, I would go back to that mirror that I always tell you to go and look at. Look in the mirror and say to yourself, I am not selling Bitcoin until it breaks $100, $120, $140,000. I am not going to be shaken out by the whales, because the whales, we could go to $59,000 on Friday. We could go to $56,000, $54,000 when the jobs data comes out. And those whales will buy and you will sell. And then the price will go back up to 75, 80,000. And now the whales are in profit and you have a few quid in your pocket. Now then, a big one. Today, in I don't know how many hours, you will be able to go and claim your staking rewards for staking your Jupiter. It opens in probably, let's see, what time are we? 11:12. I think in about 4 or 5 hours from now. 4 or 5 hours from now, you'll be able to go and claim your rewards. The link to claim your rewards is in the video that I made about this. So Solo Sky and everybody else that wants to go and claim, go and look at my video. It's the top link on there. Just go and find it. Now then, excuse me. What did we want to happen? We wanted the DXY to break down. Did it break down? No, it did not. It didn't only not breakdown. It's gone above the bull market support band. So this isn't the scenario we wanted. We wanted it to come down to 100. We're now at 103.5 and we are coming up. Now, there are many instances over here where we've come down and bounced, come down and broken through. So what we'd like to see is us breaking down again. Everybody likes a breakdown in the DXY because it helps Bitcoin. It is not fundamental to the price of Bitcoin that we have a sub 100 DXY. Okay, it's not the most important thing in the world, but it's one of the factors that helps Bitcoin on its merry way to wherever it decides it wants to go this bull run. So yes, we've broken back up. Yes, we keep an eye on it every week. It has had a very solid bounce off 100. It's up 3.6%. In terms of the DXY, that is a nice move, and you can see it does it quite a lot. If you look back to this move, that was a huge move, but again, that was coming from the lows of 99. It went all the way up to 106. So there's a possibility that those things are going to happen. But again, it's always good to keep an eye on things. And then the second important chart, I suppose, that we've got to look at until maybe the breakdown. Once Bitcoin dominance breaks down, then there's no need to look at this chart anymore. But I mean, we talk about Bitcoin going up and to the right. This is as up and to the right as you can get. We are now we reached up to 59%. We are on our way. Okay, we've got the main trend line and then we've got the secondary trend line. We're still going. That's starting to blur this out a bit, so let's get rid of that now that you all know. So we're still going. Bitcoin dominance, what does it mean? Bitcoin is outperforming the market as a whole. It's not outperforming individual coins. It's not outperformed Sui, for example, but it is outperforming the market as a whole. 58% of the crypto market is in Bitcoin. 60% of the crypto market will be in Bitcoin when it reaches 60%. Now, that might only sound like a very small number, but in monetary terms, it's billions and billions of dollars. So the further we get towards breaking this down, the more your bags will pump, the more that your alts will pump. And again, we were at start of this year, where were we? Start of this year, we were at 51.5%. Middle of the year, 54%. End of the year, where are we going to be? 59%? 60%, something like that. We don't have to break down on the 30th of December. That's just a line to show us where the end of the year is. We could, for example, go up and then get to February and break down. It doesn't have to be January the 1st. Like I said about October, we were never going to pump on the 1st of October. October was the month that we got our gains, and I think we're already up something like 10% in October, another 10% to go. That would put us at what, 75,000? Maybe that's optimistic. I think 72 would be great. But Bitcoin dominance is still going. We're all happy. The DXY is going up at the same time. We don't want that, but it doesn't really matter. As long as we don't start to break down too soon. We don't want the alts to start pumping too soon. We want Bitcoin to get to a price, 72,000 would be great. Have a breather, let the alts rally. Now then, 3 signs that Bitcoin's parabolic phase with a $250,000 target. This is what I am bothered about. The reason I'm bothered about it is that I'm making a video and it's about shillfluencers. And in the video, I've included Mr. Beast, Carl the Moon, Crypto, and BitBoy Crypto. Now, I'm including them not to target them, but to show you as an educational guide why it's never a good idea to follow influencers. And I include these because if I don't, you're going to go and read them and believe them without understanding what it actually takes to get Bitcoin to $250,000, because that is adding $2 trillion to the value of Bitcoin. That's a big move. In fact, it's probably more, probably $2.5 trillion. So when you see these headlines and then you read the article is going to make more sense than the headline. And that's generally what happens. You will see an article saying Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. And then you're going to not bother reading the article, get that soundbite in your head, and then put your mortgage on Bitcoin. When if you read the article, which is only going to be about 600 words long, it'll tell you that the target for $1 million for Bitcoin might be 2030, which is kind of the target that most people have set for $1 million for Bitcoin. It's 6 years away. It's actually 5 years, 4 months away. 5 months, 5 months away. It's not that far away. But don't just read a headline and say, oh, you know what, Mike's so negative. How's he only saying we're going to go to $120,000 when all these experts are saying $250,000? Because these experts have different timescales to maybe you and I. My timescale for 120 to 180,000 is October next year. Some of them have targets. Michael Saylor has got a target of December for $250,000 for Bitcoin, or 350,000, I can't remember which. But look at when they're talking about and why. So we've gone up 55% this year. So this is we've not gone into the parabolic stage. Let's not forget that. And I do appreciate that the parabolic stage in Bitcoin is going to move us a long way, maybe 100%. Okay, 100% from here is $140,000, and it's going to happen very quickly, not in a day, maybe over a 4 or 5 week period. Bitcoin doesn't need a reason to go up, remember. Bitcoin always goes down on the negative news, because the negative news, the macro environmental news, interest rates, conflict in the Middle East, conflicts of Eastern Europe, they're all a drag on Bitcoin. If there was no negative news in Bitcoin, it would just happily sail away to new all-time highs, but it does react to the market. So the first one, rate cuts in November, absolutely, that's good for Bitcoin. The second one is, of course, Donald Trump winning the election. Totally agree with both of those. More money coming into the market, the M2 money supply going up. Donald Trump winning the election is, I mean, in some polls, he's 14 to 16 points ahead. And in a 2-horse race, that is absolutely dramatic. But what do you expect? $100,000 in 2025. Totally, but yes, absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with $100,000 in 2025. We are showing signs of a breakout. We have had a 7-month consolidation phase. March until now has been in consolidation. We did break out. I gave Bitcoin a 9 out of 10 on Friday, and I said that we have to break this line and hold it. Okay, we're going to have a look at the chart in a minute. The downtrend is over, consolidation and accumulation almost done. Time for the parabolic phase. Exactly. Now, here's parabolic phase. Looks like it takes us to $150-ish thousand. Again, I'm happy with that. All depends entirely on the time frame. $100,000 in 2025, $250,000 in the long term. Now, that again, what does that mean? What's the long term? That's the issue. I could say Bitcoin is going to go to $10 million in the long term. What does it mean? We are going to spike up. Yes, the whales could be positioning themselves to benefit from the potential long-term price increase after the next halving. Stablecoin dominance is, we're going to talk about that in a minute as well. Again, look at the target. Sorry, look at the title. 3 Bitcoin signs of the parabolic rise. We've got the Trump election, we have the breakout on the chart, and we've got the cut in interest rates. Yes, 3 very solid signs. But that is where the headline is a clicky headline. Because according to Yashu Gola, this is $250,000 in the long term. I could say that for any coin, couldn't I? I could say that Paul is going to go to $100 in the long term. I could say AVAX is going to $10,000 in the long term. This is why it's so dangerous. This is why I've made the video that I'm still editing about shillfluencers, because they fill your head with dreams. And those dreams can be based in reality. You know, if you want to be a rocket scientist and you go to school and you study bakery and then you leave and then you go and work in McDonald's, how are you ever going to be a rocket scientist? Okay? If you go to baking school and you want to open your own bakery and you go to work at McDonald's to save up enough money to buy your ovens and rent a place to start a bakery from, is that a realistic dream and a realistic target? Of course it is. Somebody coming on here and saying that we're going to $10 million for Bitcoin is an unrealistic target, and it fills your head with hopium that's never going to happen, probably in the majority of our lifetimes. So we just need to be careful when we see titles like that. Now then, Bitcoin is doing exactly what we want it to do. Look at the yellow line, 68,268. We are at 68,266. We are sitting on the line. This line is this here. Okay? Now, we are above the bull market support band, which is, I don't know why everything keeps being turned off. We are a long way above the bull market support band. That's back at 63,000. So we've broken out. Check. We've had a solid green candle last week. Check. That green candle has broken to put in a higher high. Check. We have put in higher lows. Check. We are currently holding above the price that I suggested we needed to hold, although we currently look like we're coming down, but we've still got, if we come down to such this trend line, 67.8, 67.8, 68.3, we're there, okay? So Bitcoin is doing what we want it to do. Now, where is the next target for Bitcoin? That, for me, would be to look at maybe getting that closing candle there, 71,200. That's what I want to see us break, because yes, we wicked up to 74,000, but we wicked, we didn't close. 71.2, a close above 71.2 for me is a higher high. That's where we've got to go to next, and look how close we are. $3,000 away. What's that? 4.5% away. A 4.5% move, when last week we went from 63 to 69. So we did an 8% move last week. And now I'm saying we need to do a 4% move this week. It's on the cards. It's doable. So Bitcoin is in a very healthy place. I do think we're going to go over $70,000 this week. Ideally today, when the American markets open. The ETFs have done nothing but buy Bitcoin now for an entire week and a bit. So if they continue that trend for today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, we should be sitting over 70,000, ideally over 71.2, for us to have closed a higher high. Closed a all-time high. That's where I want us to be. I think we can do it. And I'm not normally that bullish, as you are all aware. Let me check messages as we go through. 3 hours, the ASR, ever bullish on Jupiter. KB, they are the worst of the worst, indeed. Shillfluencers are the worst. I mean, I have my own targets for where I think I'm going to sell Bitcoin, my personal targets for Bitcoin. And it's probably going to be the next bull run after this. But you can't let them fill your head with air, hot air. It's not going to do you any good. Don't sit there and think the portfolio you've got today is going to 50x between now and next November. Unless you're very good or very lucky, it's not going to happen. Personally, if you can 10x where you are now by the end of the bull run, brilliant. I am expecting my portfolio to 4x. That's how low my expectation is of the pumps that we're going to see, because we are at 2.4 trillion. If we're going to go to 8 to 10 trillion, even a 10 trillion market cap is a 4x. So my personal target is a 4x. If you get a 10x out of your portfolio, you should be delighted. If you get a 20x, you've done exceptionally well. But be careful following all of these different price targets. People telling you all these different price targets are great, but maybe only one of them ever comes true. Maybe the Jupiter one comes true. Maybe the XRP one comes true, or AVAX or TON. Not all of them are going to happen. He works at McDonald's. He's Employee of the Month. I think Donald Trump would make a cracking McDonald's employee. He would just close the window on you if you gave him any grief. He just would. Retracement to 64.5 before we put in new all-time highs. I need to see what happens today, really. I think we could break 70,000, get rejected and come down. I don't know if we're going to come down. Is 64.5 the bull market support band? It might very well be. We could come back to bounce off that, but I don't think that's going to happen straight away. Could very well happen straight away. Who knows? Right, Brett is struggling after the breakout, but key factors point to a rally. Remember, for months now, I've been telling you I'm not a fan of meme coins, but I know most of you are. So I gave you, I think, 3 to 4 meme coins that I think will do well. One is Mew, that's up 100%. I gave you PopCat at 40, 50, 60 cents. It's now at $1 and God knows what. I added Mog to that list. So there's 3 cats in there. And Brett is my 4th, okay? In my video, I never included Mog because PopCat was so low. PopCat's now got a higher market cap. I think you might need to look at a lower cap coin. Brett has done really well. It's gone up 15%. It's gained 31% in the last 30 days. Here's the price prediction. Let's see what they suggest. I think I've got $1 for Brett for the end of the bull run. That's my target. 90 cents, $1, something like that. The price range with the most profit was around the area I've been telling you was a good price. I think anything under 11 cents for Brett is good. 302 to 342,000 addresses. It's decent. Let's see, where are the price targets? Here we go. So there's no physical number. We don't need to go and click on that. We don't need to click on that. I'm not going to, actually, you know what? Let's go look at the Brett chart because I think Brett is a solid project. There's a couple of mitigating circumstances behind why I like Brett. There's also one red flag, and the red flag is the liquidity behind Brett. There's a problem with it. I don't know which one I would have used. That's not it. I've clicked on the wrong one. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I think that the issue that I've got with Brett is outweighed by the benefits. Right, so that's my target for Brett. Okay, anything below that line, I think for Brett is a good buy. Now, I've picked the wrong chart. I don't care. The point of the matter is, I don't hold Brett. I have no association with Brett. You can see clearly on this the screen we have an association with Mew. Do I think you should buy Mew? Absolutely. I don't personally hold any of it because I don't want a conflict of interest, even though we're sponsored by them. But we give Mew away. Brett, I don't hold any of. The mitigating circumstances behind Brett are the fact that Base doesn't have its own native token. So then you have to look at coins on the Base chain that will get value as Base starts to grow. And the only 2 that stand out by a country mile for me are Aerodrome, which is the DEX, and Brett, which is the meme coin. They have added a few other meme coins over there, which look like they're going to have a good run as well. But for me, Brett is positioned, it's just below the price. I've said this is the price to get Brett at. Now, worst case scenario, in the bull run, 50, 60 cents. Genuinely think that's the case because you either buy Aerodrome or you buy Brett or you buy both if you want to get into that chain. The same with any project. So Sui, massive fan of DeepBook. I've got DeepBook. I only bought a tiny amount of Deep. But again, Sui, get past that token. What do you buy? What coins do you buy on the Sui network that are going to multiply the X of holding Sui? The same with Solana. You want to hold Jupiter because you expect Jupiter to outperform Solana. So even though Base doesn't have a coin, you would expect Brett and Aero to outperform on that chain comparative to everything else. So Brett for me is a solid one. I think anything below 11 cents is good. The chart doesn't go back far enough to show when it was above 11 cents. But if you can see, it is giving you, as long as you want to buy that coin, as long as you want. And believe you me, if this goes to 25 cents, 20 cents in the next few weeks, and you want to take profit, sell it all. Take the 150% profit, put it into any coins that you want. I'm just giving you the meme coin simply because everyone talks about meme coins, and if I don't, I am like the grumpy old granddad in the corner drinking whiskey, falling asleep by the fire, and I don't want that tag. Thank you very much. That tag can stay with Tariq. Now then, this caused a lot of kerfuffle over the weekend. I finally got some memes this weekend. I got some 8 memes. 8 memes, that's a good bag. That's actually not a bad idea. I pick 6. I think I've said 6 memes in general at maximum in a bag. Same with any kind of bag that you get. I think 6 to 8 is good. What you don't want to do is buy every meme coin under the sun, because the majority of them are going to go to zero. You're only going to come out, if this is your first bull run, what you haven't experienced is what happened in the last bull run and the bull run before. And that is, and I haven't done this, I said I would do it, I'm going to do it this week. If I got you the top 20 tokens from 2018, 2021, say, and 2024, those top 20 tokens will be different. I can go further back, 2016, 2014, whatever. The top 10 and the top 20 change the same way they do in the stock markets. You can look at the biggest companies in the world. Some of them have gone bust, and I'm not going to repeat myself again. But the likes of, what were they called? Not Dell. The huge, massive American company that made all of IBM. IBM was the biggest company in the world 30 years ago. Now it's owned by China and doesn't really do anything. Gateway Computers disappeared. So because you're in the moment, it's difficult to see the width of what's happened. Perfect example, in 4 years' time, Aerodrome might not exist. In 4 years' time, Uniswap could have been shut down. You don't know. You can't predict the future, but you can use what's happened in the past to help you in the future. Perfect example, at the end of this bull run, you should be selling everything, not financial advice, but you should sell everything, okay? Then you sit on cash for a year, okay? And then you start to look at buying back in. And what do you buy back into? You buy back into Bitcoin. And then you hold Bitcoin for a year. And then you start to look at the alts, because they're down 90, 95%. But the alts that you look at, you need to look at what's happened in those 3 years and what alts are coming up. New AI tokens, new DEXs, new types of projects that we haven't even thought about, new DeFi projects. Because some of the projects that you're holding now, especially the meme coins, they're just not going to be here in 4 years' time. In 4 years' time, we're going to be running up to the 2029 bull run. And probably half of the tokens that we are looking at today won't exist. And I think this could be one of them. And that is ApeChain. Okay? Now, ApeCoin was the worst performing token of 2023. In January, I looked at the worst performing coins over the last 365 days. ApeCoin was the worst. They have had delays. They're supposed to be building their metaverse. They had the Bored Ape Yacht Club VIP thing. It's all 4 years old. Okay, 4 years ago, everybody wanted a Bored Ape, Mutant Ape, whatever it might be. They airdropped ApeCoin. I've never seen what they're trying to do. Okay, then they launch the ApeChain. Okay. By combining our scalable next-generation blockchain infrastructure with Yugo's creativity and cultural influence, we are opening up new possibilities for AI agent interactions, says Kendi Cross from Wire Network. The alliance intends to change how consumers and creators connect with AI agents by providing increased meaningful engagement across digital and virtual worlds as AI becomes a hot topic. The first native product on ApeCoin announced Top Trader as the first native product on ApeChain. In this on-metric trading simulation game, users can trade with leverages up to 1,000 times with no financial risk. Okay, not my cup of tea. at all. And they've got themselves a DAO. And why wouldn't they have a DAO? Everybody has a DAO. Everybody has a DAO. Right then, let's have a look at where we are. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this. ApeChain was developed using the Arbitrum Orbit toolkit, which enhances security and scalability. Interesting. A lot of the projects that we've covered that have launched their own chains have been using Optimism. So they've gone and used Arbitrum. Very good. What do I think? I'm not going to buy ApeCoin or ApeChain. We said last week that we're getting to the stage where you should be de-risking your decisions. And de-risking your decisions means that we're going to enter the parabolic stage. And if you catch, let's say ApeChain pumps ApeCoin to $15 today. Let me just actually show you ApeCoin for a second to show you what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, there was mad hopium when this coin launched. And I remember watching several crypto influencers at the time. This coin launched. And again, we're on the weekly chart. That's good. Okay. So if I just show you, this is ApeCoin. Okay. Now, ApeCoin up here was at $16. And that was 2.5 years ago. We've had a mini rally here and here, one of which I think was to do with them launching their metaverse. Can't remember the name of it now. But again, look at where you are now. If you bought this because of the metaverse, you are down 75%. If you bought this because of the new product launch, you're down 80%. Okay. What do you think is going to happen if you buy this pump? Do you think the entire fortune of this chain is going to turn around, do a 180 and get this coin up to $10, $15 by the end of next year? It's possible. I'm not saying it's not. But why are you looking? This is a 2, 3, 4-year-old out of date project at this moment in time. Now, if they do be a success and people do build their games on ApeChain and the games that are built have AI NPCs and it's all going to be lovely and they talk to you and you don't have to meet real people anymore, you can talk to the computer all day, fantastic. Are they going to get that done by next October? No, they're not. So if this is going to be a rip-roaring success, this could be a coin that you buy for 2029, because that, even from that point there, it's not good. It's a mini pump, and like I said, great, it's up 100%. Would I go anywhere near it? No, but that's not financial advice. That's my opinion, and my opinion only. I would never hold ApeCoin at these prices. I think it's crazy. And if you did get the airdrop at $15 or $16 and you sold it all, you made out like Flynn, and congratulations to you. Now then, this is another positive sign. Let's have a quick look. Tariq, thank you. You're welcome, Tariq. Right then. So Tether's USD has hit $120 billion market cap. That is very good. We're very happy about that. Why are stablecoins important? Because they add liquidity. People want to buy and sell in and out of dollars. That's their prerogative. Good luck to them. That's what they do. But it's hit 120 billion for the first time. And again, these are just milestones. It will hit 150. It will hit 200 billion. At some point in the dim and distant future, it's likely to hit $1 trillion. These are just milestones in the history of Tether. And, you know, it's good to recognize it, because it does mean that more money is flooding around and flowing around. And that's what we want to see. So it hit 120 billion on October the 20th, which is nice. They're all its different currencies. Very good. Stablecoins are the main on-ramp between the world of fiat and digital assets. A growing stablecoin supply is used as a signal to predict an upcoming bull rally. Absolutely. How does this work? So if somebody wants to put $10 million into crypto, they could go to Tether and say, I want $10 million worth of Tether, and they'll give them $9,999,000 of USDT in a wallet. And then they will put that $10 million to work, making them interest with the bonds and gilts, whatever else it might be. They minted 1.3 billion in August. Pretty decent. By August the 9th, the 1.3 billion helped Bitcoin stage a 21% recovery to trade at $60. Can the October rally tether treasury flows a significant proportion? Yes. I think it's important to keep an eye on stable coins. I'm not necessarily sure we need to spend our lives looking at them, but it's good to know that they are there. What is important if you look at chains is to look at the circulating supply of fiat on those chains. So how much is on Solana, how much is on Sui, how much is on Cardano. Those are the indicators as to how well those chains could do. You know, Wormhole, we're always flagging up how much has been moved from Ethereum to Solana or whatever else it might be using Wormhole. It's just an indication of money flowing into and out of the ecosystem and across the ecosystem here or there. Now then, Tariq, look away now. Sui beats Litecoin and targets near. Why the $2.40 level is key. Sui reached an all-time high a week ago, indicating a potential top. The next bottom will establish the entry point to beat its rivals. Again, I have said that you shouldn't be buying, my opinion, not financial advice, you shouldn't be buying Sui at $2.20. I think it's, when you go into price discovery, it stops and then it will retrace to find support. And that point is when you buy. We looked at this. We've been looking at this now for a year and a half. We looked at Blazel. Blazel did exactly the same thing that Sui did. Ton did exactly the same thing. They go to these new all-time highs and then they retrace to find a price support, a price level of support. And Sui is not something you should be buying at $2.25, in my opinion. Now then, so if Sui carries on, could it go above near and become the 7th biggest crypto price? Absolutely. Otherwise, Litecoin is going to come rallying up on the outside and take back the position. Sui has demonstrated strong upward potential over the last couple of months. I don't think we're going to go back down to test 53 cents. Not in $1 million. Not in $1 million. Not in a million years. Let's go and have a look at the Sui chart. I think that's what people really care about. Tariq is giving me grief in chat. It is all playful banter, Tariq. And that the other thing is about SCR that Tariq messaged me about that you guys might be interested in. SCR, the token, scroll token, it was in pre-market and now it's not in pre-market. Now tomorrow, I believe the token goes live. What am I going to do with the token? I'm going to sell it. No interest in holding every token that comes to mind. Now this is the weekly chart. And what do we see on the weekly chart? Well, look at that. Look at that. What happened every time? It comes down, it bounces, it comes down, it bounces. I really can't draw. Bob Ross needs to give me a few lessons. Now, so what do I think of this? Like I said, I don't think buying at $2.20 is the right thing to do. I don't think buying it at those highs is the right thing to do. We are starting to see a retracement. It has come down. It did get to 235. We're now down at 208. So what are we down? We're down 15%. 235, whatever it might be. We're down about 15%. I could draw the line, but I'm not capable of drawing lines. So where do I think we could come down to? We need to look at previous prices. Maybe we come down to $1.80. Maybe we come down to this previous level of resistance, $1.90. Maybe we come all the way down to $1.40, which I don't know about that. I think the problem is, if Bitcoin rips this week and does make a 5% move, then Sui's going to go with it and everything else. And then we're at $2.40. If KB is right and Bitcoin retraces the bull market support band and falls, 5%, Sui is going to come down here to that range. Now, where do you want to buy it and how much risk do you want to take? If you chase a tornado and you catch it, you get wrecked. Buying Sui there could very well be you catching the tornado. And you don't want to do that. And there are other coins that haven't done this move that are primed to do this move. But chasing the popular kid around, the popular kid's just going to ignore you, and then you look like an idiot. Chasing everything that pumps is not a good strategy. You shouldn't be buying ApeCoin because it's ripped 100%. You shouldn't be buying Sui because it's gone from 80 cents to $2.35. You shouldn't be buying it at $2.35. If you were going to buy Sui, you should have bought Sui probably at any point under that 58 cents. Anything that back down there is when you should have bought Sui. You didn't buy it, and now you want to buy it because you think it's the popular kid. Well, fine, you want to buy it, but buy it when it's retraced. Buy it if it does that move, okay? Buy it. Oh, I managed to draw it. Buy it there. Don't buy it on as it's ripping to the upside. You know, you want to catch a wave at the beginning. You don't want to come to the wave when it's crashing down around your ears. So Sui for me, yes, it's going to do well. It seems to be the darling of crypto. I ran a poll, or I am running a poll, which is showing, I asked basically which is going to have the better bull run, Sui or Ton. And I think 85-90% of respondents have said Sui is going to have a better run than Ton. Again, that's only their opinions, but if you go down the avenue of if that's what everybody is thinking, then that's what's going to happen, because we will manifest Sui having a better bull run than Ton. That's the way to look at it as well. Ton is the person that goes off at the start of a marathon and does the first 1,200 meters at world record pace, runs out of gas and finishes last. That's one way to look at Ton. It's had a run, it broke the top 10, it's now retracing. Sui is now retracing, but it's not gone to a stupid market cap. It's still ticking along. So there's still probably time for Sui to go to, I don't know what people are predicting, $10 maybe, $15 in the bull run. There's still time for that. But again, you want to buy that coin when nobody's talking about it. You don't want to buy it because, you know, all the crypto influencers have told you to buy it. Oh, we got it at 60 cents. Still buy it now. It's great at $2. It's going to go to $35. Well, they'll probably sell at $4 or $5 and take their 8 or 9x gains. So just be careful again. Now then, this is the final article that we're going to go through today. It's 11:59. We have come in on time. By the way, there is a poll question today. Are we going to hit $70,000 today? 67% have said yes. 33% have said no. I should start keeping a record of who says what in terms of the votes, and see how accurate we are as a group, as a collective. Right then, now I love Charles to bits, but I think Charles is off his rocker. I think he's a little bit delusional, but there is some merit to what he's saying. So rather than just writing somebody off, you should always try and extract the maximum value from somebody's opinion, unless it's an absolutely crackpot opinion, of course. Cardano will surpass Bitcoin and Ethereum in the coming decades, says Charles. Now, this is pretty strong wording from Charles. He believes that Cardano will eventually surpass both Bitcoin and Ethereum, sharing his vision of this transformation. The network is set to exceed Ethereum's scale in 10 years and will outpace Bitcoin another decade later. So unlike the previous article, which basically said in the near future, Charles is very specific about how crazy he is. 10 years to overtake Ethereum, 20 years to overtake Bitcoin. While it may seem far-fetched, especially since ADA is the 11th largest cryptocurrency, while Bitcoin and ETH are the top two, he's optimistic. Cardano's advanced tech positions it well against its competitors. He confidently stated that Cardano is already the leader in the space, noting the substantial gap in capabilities, the implementation of decentralized governance. He's elaborated on the significance of this decentralized governance. He believes that the focus should not be on marketing tactics, but on fostering a genuine community. He's indicated that Cardano is in for the long haul, aiming to build a trustworthy network recognized by global governments. He also highlighted the importance of the Voltaire era for Cardano, asserting it distinguishes the network from others, particularly those backed by VCs. He criticised that type of funding. Now, this is the last part of the show, so I am going to put this down and I'm going to talk to you for a minute, because I think, let's be clear, okay? Charles is as mad as a box of frogs, okay? He goes looking for UFO remnants at the bottom of the ocean. He's trying to bring dinosaurs back from the dead. He has his own ranch. He has his own restaurant near that ranch where you can pay for your meal in ADA. So he's eccentric. Now, maybe he's learnt from the start of the year where everybody was calling it a zombie chain, everybody said Cardano was dead. Maybe he's learnt from that, and now he's trying to match the Michael Saylors of this world by giving these outlandish predictions. Do I think, let me take this out. What is the chance that in 20 years Cardano could be bigger than Bitcoin? In terms of transactions, yes, it can. In terms of decentralization, possibly. In terms of building a better infrastructure, integrating into governments, things like that, absolutely, it can. Because Bitcoin is a store of value. Okay, you don't build government buildings out of gold. You don't build anything out of gold. You stick it in a vault and you look at it and you poke it, and over time it goes up in value. So can it be a store of value? If it doesn't, then there's something wrong with it. Is it going to get to the market cap of Bitcoin in 20 years' time? No, it's not. Bitcoin is likely to try and challenge gold in the next 20 years. So depending on what metric you use, you could argue that Charles is right. If you argue for market cap, Charles is wrong. If you argue about how governments will use Cardano for health, for education, for storing valuable information, then Cardano is probably right. But that's what Cardano is built for. Now, the interesting one is Ethereum. Do I think Ethereum can keep on to a lead over Cardano over the next 10 years? If it gets full integration with TradFi, if it gets integration with XRP, if it becomes the mainframe of crypto, if it becomes a financial instrument, then I don't think Cardano can compete on that metric either. It will therefore not be able to compete based on market cap. So it's failing 2 for 2. Where Cardano can win, very simply, is on becoming an uncensorable, decentralized tool for governments to use for data storage, record storage, maybe even as a payment solution, if that isn't already taken by the likes of Ethereum. You don't see Vitalik talking to nations leaders. You have nobody from Bitcoin to go and talk to nation leaders. But what you do see is you see Charles going to talk to the likes of Javier Milei in Argentina. You've seen him in Africa talking to the different leaders of African nations who are looking to integrate Cardano for various different services. So I think Cardano will overtake Ethereum and Bitcoin in the markets that it's supposed to try and aim for. And I think it will be a success. Now, will that give it a $1 trillion market cap? Probably not, but it will hold its value. So I think Charles has some merit in what he says. But again, he's been very, what's the word for it? Mysterious about how he sees them taking over Bitcoin, how he sees them taking over Ethereum. And for that reason, I think this is just a PR stunt from him. If you're going to say that your chain is the best, what you're gonna compare it with. You're going to go after Ethereum, Bitcoin. That's what you should do. So for me, Charles has done a great job. He's got this headline out. Everybody's talking about this headline. People are calling him a crackpot, but he's driven attention to Cardano. And if that's what works, fantastic. Bully for him. Now then, it is 12:06. It is time for me to go. I have to finish editing my video. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the show. You are all stars. I am back tomorrow at 11 a.m. The Oracle may be streaming tonight. He may be streaming tomorrow night. I don't know yet. I'll have to get him to confirm. It's set up for tonight. So if the Oracle does a trading show, don't forget to go over to Telegram and drop what coins you want looking at in there. Don't forget the Jupiter ASR rewards drop in, I think Solo Sky said 3 hours. And yeah, thank you for watching. Have a lovely day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Ciao.